So I wanted to work through a quick example so you could have a video explaining how to use the augmented matrices. So I've given you a system of equations here. And the first thing I'm going to do to solve this is to set up my augmented matrix. Oops. Like that. And now I want to get the identity matrix over here on the left and let my answers come about here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply row 1 by 1/5 because I want to get that to be a 1 first. So I'm not changing the second row, so I'm just going to write it again like that. And then the first row for me would be 1, -4/5, and 21/5. Okay. So then I want to get a 0 in this spot right here. So I'm going to do that elimination step. I'm going to multiply row 1 by -7 and add it to row 2, and that answer is going to go in row 2. Now, you could have multiplied the second row by -1/7 if you prefer that. Doesn't really matter. But since I'm doing this elimination step, I always do that off to the side rather than in a matrix. So I'm going to multiply row 1 by -7. So that will give me -7 here, positive 28/5 here, and -147 over 5. And then I'm going to add that to row 2. So when I add these, you obviously can use a calculator to help you with your arithmetic. So I'm going to get -7 plus 7, which is 0. 28/5 plus 3, which is, I think, 43/5. And then this one, -147/5 over plus -25/5 would be -172/5. And that's going to go in place with row 2. So row 1 is going to remain the same. And I'm going to replace row 2 with these sums that I got. Like that. Now I'm ready to go ahead and get the 1 here. So I'm going to take that row and I'm going to multiply it by the reciprocal of this because I want 1 here. So I'm going to multiply by 5/43. I'm going to do that to row 2. And I didn't want row 1 to change, so I'm going to leave it the same. And then row 2 would be 0, because 5/43 times 0 is 0. And then 1. And then 5/43 times that fraction there actually is going to give me -4. Turns out to be something actually quite nice. So now I'm ready to get this to be a 0. So it's going to be another elimination step, which means I'm going to do the work to the side. But I'm going to multiply this bottom row by 4/5, 4, and add it to the top row, and then place that in the top row. So the elimination work I'm going to do down here. So 4/5 times row 2 would be 0, 4/5, and -16/5. And then row 1 was 1, -4/5, and 21/5. And I'm going to add these two things together. 0 plus 1 is 1. These two things together give you 0. And then when I add these two things together, I'm going to get 5/5, which is 1. And that's going to replace row 1. 1, 0, 1. And then my second row I didn't want to change, so I'm going to leave that the way it was. So now I have this for the identity matrix over here, which means this tells me that x plus 0y equals 1, and this tells me that 0x plus 1y equals -4, So my answer then is x is 1, y is negative.